Today is September 23rd, and I've been working on the fuel tank, doing a little, 2-hour job. That's turned into a two-day job. I've got my compressor coming up here, my little adapter, so I can put air pressure into the tank, so I can do a pressure test. And what I'm doing here is trying to put this valve in. This is going to be the vent. We'll come off here and go up to a vent on the deck, or up above the deck actually. But and then this will come down. This will be the sight tube that comes down off of here. Now I may change this around a little bit. I may put the valve up in here. Give me the sight tube going a little higher up here than what it would be here, because we'd lose the top 5 inches, which wouldn't be a big deal, but still, I think I might change this around. But this is just temporary. I started out trying to weld a regular steel fitting, black iron fitting, the black pipe is actually just mild steel, but the fittings are generally a form of cast. And I was a little concerned about welding that, and I tried welding it, and I welded all right. I won't say it didn't weld all right. It was on there, and it was pretty good. But I had a couple of leaks, and every time I tried to do a little grinding, grinding down of the weld, and then try to go back over it, excuse me, every time I did that, I just wound up putting having more leaks in there, a little porosity in there. So I cut it off, ground it down, and I realized I had a 3/4 inch tap, which is, you think up here somewhere. I realized I had a 3/4 inch tap from back in my rocketry days when I was doing liquid propellants and rockets. And so I managed to get this drilled out and tapped. Now, it's only 3/16 steel, so you don't have a lot of thread engagement here. Not that this is a real super critical deal up here on the top of the tank, but you still don't, I mean, the worst it's going to get is sloshing. So, yeah. I may wind up taking some of that oil-resistant JV weld and putting it on here. If this doesn't work, we'll see what happens here. This is just Monster thread sealant, Blue Monster. Pretty good stuff. We'll see if it works or not. I'll put a little air pressure in here, and then we'll spray it with a little soapy water and see what happens. Now, I've tested these tanks to 5 psi, so we know the pressure isn't going to be an issue. I've been putting about 2 psi in here. And testing it with this 2 psi. All right. By gum-free, it's sealed. Now the rest of these aren't permanently attached, so they're leaking, but the actual seal to the tank is good. Alright. Well, we'll have to take this all apart again and clean it up, and I need to repaint the top of the tank, of course. And there you have it. Yeah, you can kind of judge by all the tools I got out of here. This has been a little bigger job than it would have had to have been. Oh my. Even broke out my Nipix. This tool was given to me by Magnus from Iceland. He visited me, oh, I don't know what it's been now, how many years it's been, 15 years ago I suppose, but he gave me this tool, and so every time I break out my Nipix here, I think of Magnus, so thanks Magnus. All right, that's really all I had going today. I did decide to go all stainless. This is all stainless, of course, and I ordered some stainless nipples. So everything here will be stainless. I got my fuel pumps should be in today, and they'll go up here somewhere. My Raycor filter, yeah, that might be here today too. But anyway, next week my fuel hose is supposed to be in, and those stainless steel nipples to go in here. So next week I should be able to get this part of the fuel system done. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, and it's not perfectly perpendicular to the tank, my thread tapping, because I didn't have a die tool holder that was big enough. I just wound up using a socket. It fit in there pretty well, but it's still hard to get even with a regular wrench, a tap wrench. It's a little difficult to get them perfectly straight, but I think it's close enough. It's not going to make any difference if it's off at a little bit of an angle, you know, one way or the other. But yeah, so the threads are holding, the seals is good. So that's the important thing. All right, there's my update.